I do remember when you said to me that I married a man and that if I wanted to keep that contract, so to speak, that that's what you would do. I remember thinking, no, you have to transition. You have to be your full authentic self and it will be fine. We will get through it. I didn't know what was in the middle. My name is Kris.
My name is Jo.
And we've been married 28 years. We met at Cal Poly Pomona. That was where we were going to school.
We were waiting for the class to start, and I look over, corner of my eye, and I see this young lady sitting there. She's looking at me and she smiles. I think I smiled back. I don't even know.
Yes, you
and
did.
I did. Okay, good.
I timed it so that we walked out of class together.
I could feel like, oh no, she's keeping pace with me.
She's gonna talk to me.
Yeah, and so
She ditched her next class. We walked out to sit on the tailgate of my car and we sat there for 4 hours.
she was just so smart and so beautiful, and that was it.
Legitimately shocked that as young and stupid as I was at 19, I found the absolute perfect person. 33 years later, here we are.
The first thought that went through my mind when I saw Kris was, oh.
Oh my God, I was just smitten. I'd never seen anybody that looked quite like her, except maybe Keanu Reeves. And so, like, duh.
She had so much life. You know, she was so smart, and she had an amazing mind, an amazing imagination.
I was done.
Oh gosh, hands down, Kris has the best styles.
Oh, me. Yet we often look alike. You know, we often end up wearing kind of the same thing. So, I don't know.
I tend to take my shoes off and walk away.
Yeah, leaving her shit everywhere. Like, I can open a shoe store from the shoes I find in the living room.
I do leave things around a lot.
I'm sure there are several. Leaving the shop door open in our garage because it's heated and cooled.
The shop door being open, like, just lets everything leak.
I don't think it matters.
Like everything, every little thing.
Oh God, where to begin? I mean, she is my warrior. She is my best cheerleader.
She's always giving me encouragement. She always tells me I'm beautiful.
When I met her for the first time, I really felt less alone.
I don't know where I'd be without her like that.
I would be lost without her. I adore her. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Kris is definitely my soulmate.
Oh, for sure. I believe we've been together many, many, many lifetimes.
We both are the belief that we've crossed paths so many times. I feel like I've known her forever.
For me, there's never been a doubt that she's my person. When did you know that you wanted to marry me?
Pretty early into our relationship, we were still not going to get married anytime soon, but I knew early in. I'm like, okay, this is the one. When did you know you wanted to marry me?
Very early, very early. I feel like knowing we were going to get married was just sort of like formality. It was like, well, yeah, because that's what you do when you're the one. You just were the one.
From our wedding, what was your favorite memory?
I guess it's called a first look now. The time that we spent on the balcony, just you and I had that dress that had the V back.
It's beautiful.
And I remember feeling the veil blow across my back with the breeze.
Yeah.
It was just like a little moment.
Yeah, that moment up in the balcony was one of the few things I remember from that day, just because it was like, oh my gosh, there were so many people there.
There's a lot going on.
And I remember leaving because everything else was a crazy blur.
What is one of the happiest memories you have from our marriage?
There's so many amazing memories. When Maeve was born, when Pippi was born, even when you told me when you were pregnant. What was one of the happiest memories of our marriage?
It's kind of a silly thing, honestly, but things were really, really hard with the business. And I just couldn't go to sleep because I didn't want to hear all of the dark thoughts. And I was watching Housewives, and you never watched Housewives.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But you came down just to keep me company for a little bit and you got sucked in.
Was that New Jersey?
Of course.
That was New Jersey.
Yeah,
Okay.
and in that moment, it was just how you sit with me in the dark.
Yeah.
I am hard pressed to isolate a single happy memory because for me, it's the cumulative happiness that I get from just the nothing that we do.
Yeah.
Sitting on a weekend morning with our coffee
Yeah.
And with the animals sleeping around us and listening to soft music, it's that. It's just being with you. That's it. What do you feel is the greatest challenge we've faced?
Well, it's definitely the things that happened with the business as it kind of fell apart the first time, and then my transition.
Yeah.
Both those things happened.
Back to back.
The fact that we've made it through that is just,
I'm really proud
yeah. So the first time I tried to
to tell me.
tell you about my struggles, I wasn't very eloquent about it, and I know that was scary.
We had had a really hard day, and I remember it was dark. I bet we were awake from feeding Avery.
Avery was
She was just
newborn.
a bitty baby.
Yeah.
And we started talking, reflecting on the day and talking about what made it so hard. And I remember that you said what felt like out of nowhere. You said, sometimes I wish we could just run away and live as two women. And it took me a minute to really process that.
Yeah.
It felt like the floor just opened beneath me, like it was
Yeah.
just a gaping maw. And I remember I started breathing really, I guess that's hyperventilating,
Yeah.
just breathing really.
I regretted that. Like every
Yeah.
day, I wasn't thinking. I was just so lost at that point.
You were hurting. Yeah. And I remember you retreated from it so quickly. And I think part of me was fine to let you retreat with that. You said in the moment that you were kidding. And I remember in the morning asking you if you were really joking. And you said, yeah.
Of course.
I was just kidding.
Yeah. I didn't want to lose what we'd built at that point. We'd been together for 10 years at that point. We had these little beautiful babies, and I just said, this is it. This is never going to happen. And I stuck with it, or at least as long as I could.
Yeah.
Because, at that point, I had known since I was little. Like, I knew, elementary school, 6 years old, that I was different.
So then life went back to normal. We just got buried in the everyday of having kids and working. And then I remember the refrigerator filter had gone on. That's what I wanted to do, is replace the filter. And I remember going back through the Amazon purchase history that you were so protective over in a way that I never, it just was so out of character for you.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing clothing that I didn't purchase. I called you to my desk, and I remember saying, do you know anything about this? And you just,
I shook my head no.
you shook your head no, but you looked
And I
stricken.
stand by that to this day.
You just looked so stricken.
Yeah.
And I've always known you to tell me the truth. And so when you said no, I said, okay, then I need to call Amazon because I think we were hacked. And
Yeah.
when you realized I was going to call Amazon, it was like the jig was up. And I said, I think you do know about this. And you kind of nodded. I remember standing up and turning around and hugging you because I felt like I had to hug you to keep you from fleeing.
Oh, I was ready to faint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could feel it.
Instead of having a moment of, like the first time, where it was like, oh my God, what about my life? What about the children? What's my family gonna think? What are the neighbors gonna
I know.
think?
I
It was
thought it
just
was
that
over.
long
Yeah.
list, right?
Yeah.
But the second time, none of that happened. And I could feel in my body this burden, and I felt like you had carried this pain. And that broke my heart. Then I remember saying, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk about this, and it's gonna be okay.
When you told me things were going to be okay, there was an element of relief, because it's like, oh, finally, this is off me. That was just like the beginning. There was like so much that was going to happen between there and
Truly being okay.
truly being okay. What's it going to look like? How's the world going to see me? How's the world going to see you? How's the world going to see us? Because immediately, when people finally knew, it's like they thought, okay, immediately, wow, okay, well, their marriage is over.
It never occurred to me that we would break up. Even when things were really dark and really tough, I just had resolved, I'm not making any changes until we're on the other side of this.
And then, from that point on, I was like off on this crazy roller coaster ride, but then I just always felt like I was pulling you along, and like you were having to kind of rediscover yourself. And
It really impacted our dynamic because I struggled to find my place as a woman for so long because I always felt kind of like a misfit. And I felt like with you, I found my match and I knew how I fit. And when all of a sudden you were so much more feminine than me, it brought back all of the old stuff for me about how I don't know how to woman properly. It was so complex.
Yeah.
As soon as you were dressing authentically, your gestures changed, the way you moved your head, your voice. It was so disorienting and scary because I felt like, where'd you go?
You describe it as like a mourning process that you were going through basically at
Yeah.
that point.
I mean, I was only seeing what we were leaving.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was nothing to give me an example of where we were going. And I couldn't find anybody online. I couldn't find, there were no examples
Yeah.
of couples who had stayed together. And it was so distressing. And I'd see so many of the non-transitioning partners just bitter and angry,
Yeah.
which I understand, but that wasn't our experience. And so I
Right.
didn't want to engage in that because I just made up my mind that's not where we were going.
Yeah. Me being on this side of things, finally, I feel like I'm a better partner for you.
Oh, yes. In the before, you would be present and loving and tender, and then it was like the clouds would come, and then you'd recede. Once everything evened out, it was like the clouds went away, and
Yeah.
you were just that person all the time,
Yeah.
that very
God, I don't
loving,
remember that anymore.
connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't either. This is all I remember now. I'm just so glad that you are you.
And you're you too. I mean, right? It was a transition for both of us.
Yeah, it was a rough go for a little bit,
Yeah.
but so worth it. It's a pretty sweet life now.
Okay. I will always love the life we've made with each other. I could have never imagined it could be as amazing and beautiful as it is. I look forward to making you laugh. Even in the early mornings when you haven't had your coffee and I'm bouncing around the kitchen because I haven't yet had mine to calm me down. I will always make you laugh. After all these years, I've learned that you are a force to be reckoned with. So long as I have you by my side, there's nothing the two of us can't do. Thank you for this love we share. It has given us two amazing children who are the most incredible humans. And thank you for us, for sticking with me even when things got scary. You held me up when I needed your strength the most. Thank you. Love, etc.
I love you so much.
I love you.
I wrote too much. I know that's going to shock you.
I'm not shocked.
I will always love you with my entire heart. I will always know you are exactly the right person for me. I will always be grateful for this wild journey together, for our epic love story. I promise to stand in the gap for you, hold back the tide for you, fight and go to war for you, love you with all that I am, take care of you, create a space of safety and belonging for you. I also promise not to get any more cats for a long time.
I don't believe that, but okay.
I look forward to being grandmothers with you, growing old with you, forging new paths and challenging boundaries with you. Thank you for loving me through the learning. Thank you for our incredible children, each with your tenderness and brilliance and love. Come here.
Okay.
I just adore you. I love you so very much. And I am so thankful for this journey.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade a moment, a day. I wouldn't give anything up. And I'm just so thankful for you.
You're so special. You deserve to be seen the way I see you. I love you so much.
I love you so much.